Some stories are difficult to tell, not because they are unknown, but because they are real, behind closed doors. In ordinary places, evil can grow, unnoticed. This is not just a story about crime. This is a journey into the mind of one of the most disturbing killers in American history. You're listening to Inside the Mind of a Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Files.
Fading stars.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you today about Jeffrey Dahmer, the things he did, the lives he took, the murders he participated in, the cannibalism. What possessed Jeffrey to do these things as a young man? What did he go through as a boy that made him destroy and take human lives? Did Jeffrey have a soul? Was his parents culpable in what Jeffrey went through? Was the way he raised a contributing factor to his psychopathic tendencies? Join me today in the making of a monster, maniacs, murderers, and psychopaths. I'm your host, Joshua Capia. We know Jeffrey had a troubled past, had a troubled childhood. Growing up in 1960 Wisconsin, when he was born, Jeffrey experienced some type of childhood trauma. We know that his mother and father fought a lot. We do know that his mother had mental health conditions. His father was a chemist, leaving him at home many, many nights alone. There are children out there that love to play, love to make friends, fascinated with life, learning and new experiences in growing and becoming a productive adult in society. Not so with Jeffrey. He wasn't fascinated with those things the average child was. He was fascinated by death, murder, killing, and darkness. Most human beings, even adults, shy away in the Western culture and want nothing to do with death, malice, macabre, killing. Not so with Jeffrey. Jeffrey did not care about any of that. He was not scared. Preying on small animals, subduing them, torturing them, killing them, and skinning them alive. That is what Jeffrey was consumed with in his childhood. What happened in that household to make Jeffrey do what he did? To kill those small, helpless animals. We know that murdering animals is a precursor to much, much bigger things. And it is a gateway into fantasizing about murder in a higher degree. These are the things that drove Dahmer. Killing cats, skinning cats, killing dogs, and preserving the animals in a shed out there in the wilderness. How many of these people lurk every day around us? It is said that 5% of people globally are psychotic, psychopaths with murderous tendencies, and only a small portion act out on those tendencies. What was going through Jeffrey's mind? People tried to help him. People tried to reach out to him in his older age. But what about felling him at a younger age? We have to really pay attention and look at what made this monster and what made Jeffrey Dahmer snap.
Jeffrey Dahmer's father and stepmother. I think watching this, you have to admit, you can see how his life writes like a Hollywood horror movie. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Phil. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Phil.
Good to meet you, sir. How would you describe Jeffrey as a youngster when you were growing up?
Excuse me, Doctor, if you don't mind. We don't know. We don't relate to Jeffrey.
Okay, Jeff.
He's Jeff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me ask you some things that, and I think these are right and accurate from your book. I understand that hindsight is 20/20, so I'm sure that these things will look different now. But Jeff was fascinated with a rotting animal carcass under the house and played with the bones and referred to them as fiddlesticks.
It was a terrible smell, so I went underneath and cleaned it out, the smell of the skunk, and cleaned out whatever else was under, cans and bones, and collected them all. And Jeff did seem to exhibit an interest in the way they clanked as he picked them up and put them back into the metal pail. He just laughed at it, the sound of it, and that was it.
It was said that he had even impaled a dog's head on a stick. And this, again, is something you only learned about in
the
trial.
The trial. I asked him about that, and he said that it was back in the woods, 2 neighbors away from us. I saw a picture of it.
So he admitted that that was true.
He said he found this dog. I don't know if it's really true, to be honest with you, but he told me that he found this dog that he decapitated and put on a stake.
And do you believe that there were warning signs that as a father you should have seen? If your kid is going around collecting dead animals, cutting them open and exploring them and that sort of thing, that how do you not know that?
Well, as I said, it's heavily wooded, very rough terrain, and there are a lot of hiding places. He was extremely secretive and devious.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a psychologist myself, I'm fascinated and perplexed by his parents' response. They didn't know what Jeffrey was doing, taking dead animals, impaling a dog's head on a stick, calling the bones fiddlesticks. Then the father writes a book to give his position on why these things happened and how him and his wife did not know and do not understand. They don't want to refer to him in the enduring name Jeffrey. They call him Jeff. How, as a parent, do you not understand something is wrong? Who is watching Jeffrey? In my opinion, they were too busy to pay attention to Jeffrey Dahmer. And that lack of attention produced a monster, a danger to society, killing those around him, fooling those around him, not attaching in a healthy way. How did he learn this methodology? From who? Was it that he was born this way? Was it that he was made this way? Did Satan himself speak into Jeffrey Dahmer's soul? What does it take to torture an animal? What kind of impaired psychological development and maladaptive behaviors does a child have to experience to go this far? This child must have been alone, day in and day out. Those of you that have children, how could you not know something is wrong? And when we look at the link of psychopaths and serial killers, there is a sense of abandonment. There are instances of abandonment and abuse from the parents, a lack of interest in the child. Jeffrey Dahmer's detached. We know his brain didn't work right. We know that he is a personification of evil. I'm not here to argue if one is born or if one is made. We have scientific theory and disagreements on both sides. But we do know that the majority of psychopaths and serial killers have problems with their parents. And to sit here and watch Dr. Phil interview these two parents and claim they did not know anything. Me, as a psychologist, author, podcaster, I disagree 100%. I cannot believe that for a minute. Your child, a murderer, a psychopath, a monster, is being created right under you.
What eventually happened and what they became aware of that he did as an adult. Then looking back, certainly if it were me, my gosh, why didn't I do something? That is not normal for an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy to be fascinated with dead animals, body parts, laughing when they drop at the sound of a bone clanking when it's dropped. I know you know this, Phil, the 3 big red flags: fire setting for the purpose of enjoying the fire, not just playing with matches, bedwetting, and I don't mean an occasional accident. I mean, sometimes we know that troubled teens may have what's called enuresis, the clinical term, bedwetting, several times in a night. And then the third and the most severe is animal torture. So fire setting, bedwetting, animal getting, what we say in the profiling world. And if any of those things are going on, don't encourage it and get the child into therapy.
There was also an incident where Jeffrey Dahmer's teacher took his tadpoles and gave them to another student. Jeffrey went to this student's home and poured motor oil into the tank and killed all of them. That is how demented Jeffrey was. He faked having seizures in school and continuously laughed about it, tormenting those other children around him. This individual, this child, could not be helped. Impossible. I'm under the opinion that Jeffrey was not born this way, even with some mental illness. I believe Jeffrey chose, and he was created by his environment, but chose to be the way he was. Do you know how many people go through this? Abusive environments, attachment style dysfunction, bad life commands as a child, and never enter the realm of darkness that Jeffrey Dahmer entered. What does it take to chase a harmless dog, to cut its head off, to impale it on a stick? To say in interviews he was fascinated when he saw roadkill and took it home and dissected it because he wanted to see how the insides worked. Is that why he killed human beings? Is that why he dismembered them? Is that why Jeffrey ate them? Because he wanted to see how it worked. Dismembering them, putting their body parts in the refrigerator and the freezer. People trying to escape his demonic grasp. This person did not have a soul. He claimed that he felt bad over the things that he did. I disagree. Psychopaths can't feel bad. And if they feel bad, it's only for their narcissistic tendencies on getting caught and not being able to fulfill their diabolical plan. This is the first episode on how the monster was made. This is a multi-part series that I'm going to be producing, writing, putting together so all of you can see what happens in the development of the mind of a monster. I'm going to show another clip on Jeffrey Dahmer on an interview of him talking before we exit this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because there is much more to come.
33 when he told Nancy Glass about his twisted motive for killing 17 men.
Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me. And as my obsession grew, I was saving body parts such as skulls and skeletons, and eventually I did turn to cannibalism.
He described how he picked up his victims in gay bars and brought them home.
I'd have the sleeping pill mixture already prepared. The person would drink it, fall asleep, and that's when they would be strangled.
And he made a startling admission about the evil urges that propelled him to kill.
Do you still feel those same urges? Do you still feel that compulsion, that obsession?
I wish I could say that it just left completely, but no, there are times when I still do have the old compulsions.
A creature of the night, he said he slept most of the day in prison. During the interview, he asked for several breaks.
Can we cut the film here for a minute?
Sure.
Dahmer was murdered by another prison inmate just a year and 10 months after this interview, a form of justice he said he deserved.
That's what I deserve. I deserve death.